Job chapters 32 to 37 through the Bible. Part 4. Behold, he findeth occasions against me. He counteth me for his enemy. He putteth my feet in the stocks. He marketh all my paths. Behold, in this thou art not just. I will answer thee, that God is greater than man. Job 33 verse 10 to 12. He makes the great statement that God is greater than man. It is a simple statement, yet it is great because so many folk take the place of God. Many Christians propose to tell you why certain things happen. Some Christians speak as if they have a private line into heaven. They get the latest right off the wire. I doubt that sincerely. There is a great deal that none of us know. Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters. Job 33 verse 13. Job needs to understand that God didn't need to report back to any board. He is not responsible to any group, nor is he subject to public opinion. My friend, God is not responsible to either you or me. He doesn't have to give an answer to us. He is not accountable to us. Some people say, "Oh, why does God let this happen to me?" I don't know why, my friend. All I know is that God is not accountable to you. He doesn't have to tell you the reason why. He doesn't have to tell me the reason why. He has asked me to trust him. He has never promised that he would take me out of the darkness, but he says, "Put your hand in my hand, and I will lead you through the darkness." He has not promised to explain everything to us. He has asked us to trust him. For God speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed. Job 33 verse 14 and 15. We must recognize that since we have the completed Bible, we do not need to trust any dream that we have had. However, way out on the frontier where the gospel has not gone, I think you will find that God still uses this method. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. Job 33 verse 16 and 17. The problem with Job was that he had an awful disease. It was cancer of the spirit, pride. Oh, the proud heart of man, and I see it in my own life. Do you see it in yours? How we need to grovel in the dust and put on sackcloth and ashes because of the kind of folk we are. Elihu says here that God instructs men through discipline. Job's false reasoning is a very simple thing. He did not understand the character of God, so he did not understand God's dealings with him. But God was dealing with Job, and he wanted to hide pride from him. He wanted to take pride out of that man's life. Job was a good man. He was a great man. But he was a low-down sinner, just like you are and just like I am. Because we are sinners, pride creeps into our lives. For example, we get angry with individuals who dare criticize us. God withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous. Job 36 verse 7. We are in his hands, and we are under his eye continually. We are the objects of his deep and tender and unchanging love, but we are also the subject of his wise and moral government. He doesn't want spoiled brats as his children. Lo, all these things worketh God oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. Job 33 verse 29 and 30. God often instructs men through discipline. God uses it to deliver his soul from going into the pit. Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me. Hold thy peace, and I will speak. If thou hast anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify thee. If not, hearken unto me. Hold thy peace, and I shall teach thee wisdom. Job 33 verse 31 to 33. God still wants to do the same thing for believers today. we need to consider the exhortation given us in Hebrews. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Hebrews 12 verse 3-5. Then drop down to verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Hebrews 12 verse 11. There are three distinct ways in which we may meet the chastening of our Heavenly Father. 1. We can despise it as though His hand and His voice were not in it. We can ignore God. 2. We may faint under it. When we do that, it is real defeat. Job had both these reactions, by the way. But what are we to do? 3. We are to be exercised by it so that it will produce the fruit of righteousness in our lives. God does permit trouble to come to His own, and He chastens every son whom He receives. That is the great purpose that is behind all that has been happening to Job. God is going to bring it to a tremendous consummation.